The Duggars know what it's like to grow up in the public eye. Having spent their childhoods on reality TV, the former 19 kids and counting stars are somewhat used to being scrutinized and even misunderstood by both fans and critics. Talking to the Duggars about their experiences has been eye-opening for TikTok stars Matt and Abby Howard, who regularly share snippets of their lives as young parents with their 5.3 million TikTok followers. The Duggars know what it's like to grow up in the public eye. Having spent their childhoods on reality TV, the former 19 kids and counting stars are somewhat used to being scrutinized and even misunderstood by both fans and critics. Talking to the Duggars about their experiences has been eye-opening for TikTok stars Matt and Abby Howard, who regularly share snippets of their lives as young parents with their 5.3 million TikTok followers. In addition to sharing their lives on TikTok, Matt and Abby Howard also have a podcast called Unplanned. Several Duggar siblings have appeared on the podcast, including Jinger, Jill, and Joy-Anna. Matt and Abby's friendly relationships with so many members of the Duggar family have left some fans puzzled. Anyone else think it's weird how many of the Duggars Matt and Abby seem to be befriending and hanging around? One fan wondered on a Duggar subreddit. On the Unplanned podcast, Matt asked Jinger about how she feels when she sees articles in the media that might twist the storyline or paint you out to be somebody. For Jinger, it feels somewhat normal. I think having grown up in the public eye, there's a certain level of realizing, okay, this is just our life, and it's not like we have this crazy amount of paparazzi following us every single day, Jinger explained. There were seasons where it was wild like that, she continued, and it's ultimately, I realize, whatever they say, there's always going to be a naysayer. Jill also spoke to Matt and Abby about her experience growing up in the spotlight. She described it as just kind of the way our life was. When it comes to being on a reality show, Jill said, it's your life to some degree, but it's not very realistic in other aspects. As they've chatted with several Duggar siblings about their lives, Matt and Abby have thought more about their social media presence. They're particularly concerned about how it impacts their children, sons Griffin, who is 2, and August, who is 14 months. We're comfortable with where we're at right now, but that's something that we're always redressing to be the best parents possible, Abby told People. Also just taking into mind the type of kids we have, because we're learning more and more about them every day as they're developing. Though they're TikTok stars and not reality TV stars, Matt and Abby came under fire recently after Abby spoke about leaving their sons unattended in their room on a cruise ship. At the time, Abby said that she and Matt went to dinner without their kids and used FaceTime to monitor them. After garnering a lot of criticism, Abby later clarified that their sons were not left completely alone. When creating content, Matt and Abby try to prioritize safety. Because of this, they ultimately decided to not show their kids' faces in the content they share publicly. We also rarely post in real time, Matt told People. A lot of our content is backdated just for privacy and security. As Jedidiah Duggar and Katelyn Nakatsu gear up to celebrate Thanksgiving, they reflect on what they have to be thankful for. The couple is gearing up to welcome twin girls in the coming weeks, taking their family of 4 to a family of 6 overnight. When the twins arrive, Katie and Jed will have 4 children under 2, likely adding chaos to their home. Their first child, Truett, was born in May 2022, and Nora, their second child, was born the following May. By spring, they will turn 3 and 2, leaving Katie and Jed with 4 under 3. Jed recently shared a bump update, revealing Katie had hit the 31-week mark. For the Thanksgiving holiday, the couple shared shots from a fall photo shoot they did before their family expanded. In light of Thanksgiving, Jedidiah Duggar and Katelyn Nakatsu shared a few photos from a fall photo shoot the couple did with their 2 children, Truett and Nora. The share was captioned, So much to be thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours. Photos by the incredible Alyssa in photo. It's been a busy season for Jedidiah, Duggar, and Katelyn Nakatsu. They have been busy with their 2 little ones and keeping up with family events. Jed was part of Jason Duggar's wedding in October, standing next to his brother as he married Maddie Grace Jones. Katie was spotted hanging out with her sisters-in-law as they visited with the Bates girls at their warehouse. They hung out late into the night while they were kid-free. The Counting On star has also worked with Katie to prepare their home for the arrival of their twin daughters. She could deliver at any point, though she may get close to her due date. A few weeks ago, the couple showed off some of the nursey stuff they had done. Katie painted one wall, and they did a transition-type video to share with followers. With the holiday season here, we suspect Jed and Katie will provide many more updates. They consistently share their lives with their followers, including the holiday gatherings they attend. Baby watch for the twins is in full swing, as Katie could welcome the little girls at any time now. Her official due date is January, but we suspect we may have a December arrival. Jinger Duggar Vuolo, about to give us a tell-all book about her famous family and controversial religion. The former Counting On has written her first solo book, in which she will reportedly address all the rules that her parents, Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar, as well as her Institute in Basic Life Principles religion, imposed on her as a child and young adult. The book, entitled Becoming Free Indeed, My Story of Disentangling Faith from Fear, is due to be released in January 2023. When Jinger Duggar Vuolo was growing up, she was convinced that obeying the rules was the key to success and God's favor. The book's Amazon listing states, she zealously promoted the basic life principles of Bill Gothard. She believed this level of commitment would guarantee God's blessing. Even though in private, she felt constant fear that she wasn't measuring up to the high standards demanded of her. Jinger will also be addressing her parents' demands that she and her siblings eagerly submit to what the IBLP calls the umbrella of authority, which states that any disobedience of parents would place her outside God's protection. Other topics to be addressed include the Duggars' fastidious modesty standards, their ban on worldly music, and the requirement that Jinger courted her husband Jeremy Vuolo in lieu of dating. Jinger, who practically grew up on camera while appearing on her family's TLC shows 19 Kids and Counting On, will share with readers how a brother-in-law, whom the Ashley believes is Ben Seawald, the husband of Jinger's sister Jessa, led her to examine her beliefs in her early 20s. Jinger will also reveal how her husband Jeremy contributed to her discovering that her life was built on rules, not God's word. The book's Amazon listing states that, after Jinger began restudying the Bible, she learned that much of what her parents and religion had taught her growing up wasn't actually correct. Much of what she'd always believed about God, obedience to His word, and personal holiness wasn't in line with what the Bible teaches. Now, with a renewed faith of personal conviction, Becoming Free Indeed shares what it was like living under the tenets of Bill Gothard, the biblical truth that changed her perspective, and how she disentangled her faith with her belief in Jesus intact. The listing reads, while this is Jinger's first solo book, it's certainly not her first trek into authorhood. She and Jeremy have released several books, and have yet another one set to be released in February 2023. Jinger also co-authored a book with her sisters Jessa, Jill Dillard, and Jenna Duggar years ago, called Growing Up Duggar. You can use the Ashley's Amazon Associates link to pre-order Jinger's new book. The book is set to be released January 31, 2023. Jinger's parents and the IBLP have yet to comment on the news of Jinger's new book.